There
Good
we
evening,
go.
ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of Get Off the Damn Fence. I'm your host, Larry Caution, joined every week by our co-host, Calvin Thomas, Justin to be able to Bob Harris. Gentlemen, once again, how y'all doing tonight?
So I thought this was deja vu for a second.
Man,
I'm glad I'll be paying attention because we've been talking and looked
we've
up.
been talking. Look. It's been one of them nights. I was recording another show. As I was telling the gentleman, I've been doing this wrestling reaction trivia show here lately. I was recording that right before here, and my technical kind of been off a little bit. But we here. We here for Get Off the Damn Fence, the weekly show. Last week we were here on a Thursday during the NFL draft. And we appreciate you being flexible as an audience, following us here to back to Wednesday night, where we try to be here every week. The NBA playoffs is in the thick of it right now. Pause. It's really been intense in some series, and others been kind of. Yeah, they done. I mean, we got teams that's already gone to Cancun, but this Cleveland and Toronto series is tied 2-2. Tonight, we'll see how that goes. They're in Cleveland, and Toronto's up right now. You got the New York and Atlanta series that is now, 3-2?
3-2?
New York, 3-2 New York, going back to Atlanta. So that's a competitive series. Boston and Philly. Philly's still hanging around. Joel pulled one out last night after a disappointing loss a couple nights ago. So we've had some competitive series, and then you had the Joker out there in West. He's still looking to put away that series, which Portland, look, man, they ain't show up last night. I don't know what happened. But look, OKC handled that business. They came in. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is playing like the best player in basketball. The man is sensational. I think he's something like 15 for 16 in the fourth quarter. That's absolutely ridiculous. Like, that's what I'm talking about. And then we got the Lakers. The Lakers are playing tonight. LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers looking to put away the Houston Rockets, and they got the OKC Thunder sitting there waiting for them.
Austin Reeves coming back.
Not going to get no easier. So it's just been an interesting weekend. I think sports has been really good over the last week. This is kind of one of my favorite times of the year when you got the NBA playoffs, baseballs, and we went to the Orioles game the other night. Calvin and I went on Friday night for HBCU night, NFL draft.
Somebody wasn't there.
Yeah, he was on childcare. He was on childcare. He explained it. But a lot going on. Calvin, what's your big story that you want to touch on tonight first?
Can we talk about the Joker and the disappearing act with no Ant, no DiVincenzo in Game 4? Can we talk about that?
I'm glad you said that.
This is y'all guy. I'm
glad you said that.
This is the best player in the world. Well, this is Larry's guy. Let me say.
Hold up. Look, I can defend my guy. Okay, isn't Rudy supposed to step up and play defense? Isn't he the four-time defensive player of the year?
Wait.
Huh?
The best player on the opposing team was not there.
Whose fault is that?
DiVincenzo was the third, fourth best player, and you still lose to I forgot his name. I was going to call him Dormammu, but that ain't his name.
They did not lose. They won that game.
They lost the game. Ant got hurt. They lost. They're down 3. They were down 3-1. They won last night.
They won the last game.
My point is, if you are a superstar, if you're the best player in the world, you should not lose that game. That's my point.
Okay, you had this guy come out of nowhere. I can't pronounce his name. I'm not even gonna try.
That doesn't matter. You're the best player in the world. It doesn't matter.
Okay, so what happened in the next game?
Okay, they won at home. They won.
Best player in the world. You call him the best player in the world. Was Rudy Gobert on the court?
They should not have won. They should not have won a game. No.
Let's not make this about what it's not.
No, they're down 3.
Rudy Gobert shut down the best player in the world.
3-1.
What happened in the next game?
I didn't mention Rudy Gobert. You did. They're down 3-1. Oh, they were down 3-1.
They're not down 3-1.
How do you? Okay, down 3-2. How do you lose the game when your opposing team's best player doesn't play the majority of the game?
Sometimes your team gets an emotional lift when you lose players and other people play above their heads.
So Ant-Man is Willis Reed in the finals?
Hey, right. Guess what? There was a game after that. And it was the emotion only take you so far. At some point, the best player in the world going to play like the best player in the world. And that's what happened in the last game. Let's not act like injuries are not a part of sports.
It took a whole game for him to adjust.
let's not act like it didn't take one game. He actually played a couple decent games. It's not like I'm not giving Rudy his flowers for playing good defense on Jokic. But Jokic's game is not just about scoring. It's about assisting the basketball. It's about rebounding the basketball and getting others involved. When Jamal Murray goes down, when what's his name? The shooting guard, small forward. Anyway, he's out of the lineup. Denver doesn't have that full arsenal of weapons. The superstars have to step up. And that's what happened. Look, we giving LeBron James credit for the job he's done against Houston in the wake of them losing their pieces and stuff like that. KD goes down. The Houston Rockets still won a game without KD. Are we going to disrespect LeBron? Or did
This is a weak argument. This is a weak argument.
It's not an argument. The argument is this. Joker's still going to come through and win this series. That's what's going to happen.
He better.
Hold up. Don't you got Denver in the finals?
I do.
So what are we talking about here?
He better. Wait. First of all, now I have OKC, but he better win.
No. See, that's what I'm talking about.
He better win.
You heard him, Justin. You heard him right there. That's what I'm talking about right there.
Did he flip that quick?
He better win. No. When we did our picks, to get in the playoffs, I picked OKC. When we did the picks for the playoffs,
so when we redid it, you had picked OKC.
Thank you.
Versus New York.
Yes.
He said he changed it, Larry.
I changed it 2 weeks ago. My point is, your boy, the Joker, should not have turned out that poor performance with no Ant-Man. That's my point. They should not be down 3-1. The series should be over. They should not be down 3-2. The series should be over. It shouldn't take going to 7 to beat Minnesota without their best team, with their best player.
Anthony Edwards not coming back this series. It's over. It's just a matter of time.
Hey, look, they better win. They better win.
So the most important thing is the fact that it has to go 7. So that's the fact. The other side of that, San Antonio will be well rested. Wembanyama is going to be well rested. No lingering concussion issues. No nothing. Yeah. He's going to be primed and ready to take on this Jokic challenge. And he said, if Rudy can do this, then step aside and watch what I do in this situation. And that's what it's all about. It's all about San Antonio. San Antonio won 4-1 against the Blazers. Shout out to the Blazers. No one expected y'all to be there. And y'all just was still y'all vacation just one more week. So, it's cool. And y'all got a victory. The Wembanyama was concussed and he did not play that game. But y'all still got a victory. So, that's a good thing for Portland when they're trying to build their franchise moving forward. But Wembanyama, the Fox, the cats, they showed up and they got him up out of there. So I was just like, okay, I want to show some love first and foremost to San Antonio, getting rid of Portland 4-1. Should have been 4-0, but like I said, Wemby got hurt. And it's just let me think like, look, they won on that side, and then you flip it to the other side. And I said, and this is about big men. And I'm not even going to New York. This is about big men. We all talking about big men so far. Philadelphia and Boston. Boston let them win enough games, whereas though now Joel Embiid is pretty much healthy playing the basketball game. Yeah. This is a different series. I don't know if Boston's really ready for a healthy as much as he can be. Joel Embiid heading into the last couple more games. I think the series is what 2-2, 3-2, something along those lines. So it's like it's
3-2,
3-2 Boston, right?
Yeah.
Yes, it's over.
So I still don't think it's over. Like, because normally in series it's like, okay, I have your team and you have my team, and then we're gonna see how I get played. The fact that Joel Embiid is now a factor when he wasn't a factor at first, that's an added variable to a series in which you don't normally get your best player midway through the series in a sense. And now he can say like, all right, I'm healthy. Let's rock out. Let's see what we can do. They ain't stopping when he showed up. He showed up. They got a victory. You know what I'm saying? So I think it is a different series, and I think Boston can't play around with them. So hopefully they get them out the way right here, right now, in the next game. But
they're going to Philly though. Going to Philly.
It's in Philly. So let's say Philly win that. Now we got game 7, man. and we're gonna see how much Joel can play. So because they have no answers for Joel Embiid. They have none. They have zero answers.
No trust in Joel Embiid in a game
to finish the series.
He's never finished the series. Never finished the series in his life. It's never happened. So what are we talking about here?
He's good enough to go to the second round. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, all right, but I want to prove one point before we move on, because some people got bad memories or something like that. This is what Calvin did. You know what I mean? That all that yickety yakking, and he took Denver. Now,
doesn't that say preseason? Did that not say I changed? We all changed when we go into the playoffs, because I know you don't still have Cleveland.
I got Cleveland going far, but I don't have them going to the finals. No, I do not. But are you going to take credit for your Magic pick now that they're doing well?
No.
Okay, I just want to. Hey, you heard him, Justin. I want it on wax. I don't want you to bring up the Orlando Magic at all.
No, I think they could beat Detroit, but I don't think they'll get past Cleveland next round, barring Cleveland beats Toronto. But no.
The disrespect towards the Joker, that's not his fault that Anthony Edwards is fragile. He was hurt going into the playoffs. What Shannon say? You limp in, you limp out.
But isn't it to his benefit that the best player on the opposing team doesn't play? I'm not saying that's what you want. I'm just saying, is that to his benefit?
How many titles have been won because another great player got injured? Like, we can't do that. We can't do that. Kawhi Leonard wouldn't have a title. Many people throughout history can look back and say, if Tyrese Halliburton don't get hurt, New York not
last year
possibly moving on now.
You mean OKC, but okay. Yeah.
I'm talking about right now. If Indy was back in the mix, he go down. That whole team is decimated. Like, are we going to put an asterisk on the whole season because Indiana's not in the running now? No, injuries are a part of sports. That's my point. And then at the end of the day, I wish you would have
kept with the playoff bye. You just brought.
I was going to say that.
I get it. I get it.
It altered the whole entire everything. Like, if Dame is there with Portland right now, who knows what they doing against San Antonio?
They ain't doing nothing.
We can't do
I was going to say they ain't doing nothing.
We can't do shit. If Joel Embiid doesn't have to get emergency appendicitis surgery and misses games 1, 2, and 3, who's to say that Philly doesn't get Boston up out of there already? I mean, it's 3-2 right now with him just coming back. Who's to say? We can't do what else.
No, we can't play the injury role. Can't do it. And it is what it is.
Look, Wemby went down. San Antonio still took care of business. And that's because they have a great team. Like I told Justin weeks ago. That's why he's not the MVP. He's solid.
They lost.
He's good.
They did lose.
But they won one without him too.
But then they lost though to
Portland. They had double-digit leads in every game. That's my point.
To Portland, no less. But go ahead.
Portland, good team. They got a lot of talent. Scoot Henderson ain't show up. That's his fault.
Scoot Henderson show up his whole career, but that's another thing.
Oh, he had a couple games early in the series. But I just was very disappointed in the effort of especially last night. Last night was kind of ridiculous. Boston just shoot way too many threes. And
I agree.
That's how they play.
Especially Tatum and Brown. If the three ain't falling, and then
Derek White ain't been the same Derek White either. He's not been the same.
Getting killed inside. He can't. That's your big man.
He ain't KP.
Yeah. Well, let's move over to that Hawks and Knicks series because the Knicks made an emphatic statement in the Garden. Jalen Brunson was absolutely sensational. The stars were out to see him put on the show. Cat got off to a good start and then
big purr
2 points in the second half. But a great performance by Jalen Brunson, showing that he was ready for prime time. And OJ Anunoby, he's very good. Been solid throughout the whole entire series. Yeah, really good. And I like what I've seen from the Knicks thus far. They look like they're primed to move on. Nobody had the Hawks winning this series, but it'll be interesting to see what they do. ISO Homer. It'll be interesting to see what they do in the next series because coaching does matter. And I do wonder when, because we keep hearing this narrative about the Knicks about minutes. And when does this team wear down? And when Jalen Brunson goes hero ball like he did last night and the shots are falling, it looks great.
Yeah, it looks great. Yeah.
But when the shots ain't falling,
look, let me tell you that excuse is already gone. He came into the playoffs with less minutes than he logged in last year. Like it's over. Like he came into the point where now it's expected to go maybe 7-8 deep off your bench. You know what I'm saying? In totality, that's about it. You know what I'm saying? So that excuse has been rested bid once we made the playoffs. Everyone had lower minutes than what he did last year. So we playing basketball just like everybody else.
What you think, Calvin, about this series?
Look, like you said, it was a hero game from from Brunson last night. He was the only person on that team that took double-digit shots. I don't. You can't win like that too often. But when he's hot, he's hot. But you're gonna need the other guys. You're gonna need Towns to get involved early, and you're gonna need Bridges. Next series, if you play Boston, you need Bridges. You need his confidence back. I'm not saying he got to average 20 or 25 points, but you need him to have confidence, be able to shoot the three, confidently be able to play defense on Tatum and Brown. So you got to get his head back in there. But first, you got to get past Atlanta, which they should do tomorrow night. But look, you need him. You need Brunson. That's the reason you got Brunson and Anunoby was for Tatum and Brown, was for Boston. Last year, you were able to beat him. You need him to win this series. I'm not saying he needs to score a bunch of points, but you need him defensively. You need him. If you go back to last year, look at the plays that he made the first two games that won each game on defense to steal from the inbounds pass. Yeah. And then I believe he poked the ball loose at the end of the game too. And they were up 2-0. That was Mikal Bridges. That's what you need for that series. So you need to get him back in there mentally and involved for that team. So,
yeah, I think that big turnover at the end of what was that, game 2? People are holding that against him, but shoot, man. He just got to let it go. Once he get his opportunities, maximize his minutes, he'll be fine.
No, he missed the game winner on game 2.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He missed that game winning shot, and a lot of people saying that kind of zapped his confidence a little bit. But to me, like I say, shoot, get back on the horse, and let's bring this thing home. I think the Knicks is just a better team. Moving on, Detroit and Orlando. Orlando has played extremely well. I mean, up 3-1. They had a chance to put the Pistons away tonight. There's still 4 minutes left in this ball game. Detroit's up 108 to 101. And Detroit came out like gangbusters early. Yeah, it's a ball game. But the Magic have played a very, very interesting game like 2 on, I thought has been great for them. Even game 1, because Cade got his, but they shut down during the whole series. He hasn't had a good game yet. They really have minimized everything that Detroit had hang that hat on defensively. Orlando's been eating them up. Like, it's actually been kind of crazy when you look at it. Paolo hasn't had like this sensational great game. He had a good game tonight. I think he had like 25. He had a good game tonight. Yeah. First point in the first quarter. But for the most part, he like 18 a night. You know what I mean? But Bane, and y'all know I've been super critical of Bane. I was critical of the move to go get Bane, and I didn't like that chemistry all year. But I don't know if it's coaching. I don't know if it's just coming alive for the moment. But this Orlando team, as maybe they got healthy at the right time with the big Wagner boys coming together and just the lineups. I know Suggs, and everything's just been clicking for them. So what have you liked? What have you seen? Justin, I'll start with you.
So what we're going to do, we're going to show some love to former Duke standout Wendell Carter Jr. And this ain't got nothing to do with Angel Reese, but he's been outplaying Jalen Durham the whole series. He's been out rebounding. He's been, putting up similar points and stuff like that. So when you come into the series, Wendell Carter, he's a good player. He's a solid role player in the NBA, but he's comparing stats with an all-star. Jalen Durham was an all-star this year. So with that being said, like, if you tell me that my role guy is going to outperform their all-star, we should be up 3-1. And that's exactly what's happening. Cade hasn't been the same Cade. They've been putting the clamps on him, which is now I'm starting to see, like, I don't know whether it's playoff or maybe it's the moment. I don't know yet. It's still early. I don't
know. Cade kind of been playing. He probably been the only bright spot they had all series.
He hasn't had any help.
He's been playing great. Yeah, he got 40 tonight. Like,
I see similar last year. Get it. So either it works throughout the regular season. Everybody else can get involved and all this other stuff. But when it's a playoff,
not moving the ball.
Things slow down. That's an issue that they're gonna have to address. But no, I just wanted to point out Wendell Carter Jr. Like, he's been definitely balling. And I think that's definitely the key to their success so far.
What do you think, Calvin?
Yeah, I think the struggles of Jalen Duren, and even though there's no Franz Wagner tonight, he's been playing well on the inside, kind of neutralizing Duren. It'll be interesting because if they win the series, they're going to do it without Wagner, who won't play tonight. I think he won't play the rest of the series. But the struggles of Jalen Duren probably cost himself a lot of money going into restricted free agency, and then just seeing his limitations in the playoffs, and it's just been like a Cade one-man show. And if it's not Cade, then who is it? And I think that's what's really the problem with Detroit right now.
Yeah, and I get the whole, Detroit came out of nowhere like 2 years ago. Everybody was like, oh, okay. Last year, especially, they really played well. They were scrappy. K is the guy a lot of people think is that emerging superstar, ready to take that next step. But at the end of the day, man, if you don't perform in big moments and you don't have that, who's that second guy? I think that we assumed it was going to be Duren, but he hasn't shown up. Who's that other guy who can help take some of the pressure off Kate? We haven't seen that consistently. And with Orlando, I was highly critical, as I said, but Bane has been that other guy. Like the other night when Ja Morant was in the front row, I think Bane was like, I'm going to show off for my boy. And he went out there and like, Memphis messed up letting me go. You know what I mean? That's you when the playoffs start and the lights are the brightest, you want those guys to step up. I don't care what happened on the regular season at that point. It's a new season. Show me why I paid you all that money. I think he's earned his check so far. We'll see. We'll continue to monitor it. Let's move on to that. So we got 2 series that are done. Again, the Spurs moving on, defeated the Trailblazers. Pretty simple. Wemby, he done some spectacular things, man. Shaq made an interesting comment last night on Inside the NBA. He said that Wemby
of all time
is the perfect big man. He said he has everything you'll want. He can shoot inside, outside, yada, yada, yada. He is like, and Shaq don't give no compliments to no big man. Technically a big
especially
man hater.
Young one. Yeah.
So that's high praise. Do you think it's too soon? Do you think it's too soon? Calvin, I'll start with you.
Of course. But this is when older vet Hall of Famer likes you, attaches or takes a liking to you, they're going to sing your praises early and often. Of course, it's too soon. No MVPs, no titles, no finals MVPs yet, but we are projecting what Wemby can be if he stays healthy. We're projecting what he can do as a stretch 5 who can shoot over anyone, who should perennially win DPOY, who should average 4 or 5 blocks per game. We're projecting that. So is it something that can happen? Yes. There's a lot of work have to be put in? Yes. But I think we all can see this happening, and it's not a far stretch to say, this can be the most talented big man ever. So
that we've seen. Yeah, in black and white. I mean, color on television.
There's nothing wrong with saying what a prototype is. He is perfect in a sense when it comes to what you would want to craft in your lab. Just like LeBron James was perfect. If as a all around do it all play on the court. Like if I had to create someone to do a little bit of everything on the court, LeBron James would probably come to your mind. Just that phototype in a sense, right? And the same thing for Kevin Durant. If I had to pick like one of the greatest scorers, like I need a scorer. Well, he's going to have to have handles like a point guard. He's going to have to you shoot over 7-footers with no problem. So it's like there's guys that fit that. Now is their job to then do what they are, destined to be. They have to do it. They have to live it. And that's what we're waiting for Wemby. So when does it start? Hopefully not this year, but next year on out. Shout out to Wemby.
I've been thinking about this a lot, and y'all know I'm a Spurs fan. I was a big Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker, David Robinson. That was my crew, Kawhi Leonard. Why can't I wrap my arms around Wemby? I'm not rooting against.
Because the white man influenced you too much. That's why.
No. I grew up in an age of basketball where I hated the Lakers. You know what I mean? I hated Kobe and Shaq, like with a passion. That was my enemy. You know what I mean? Like Justin, that's why I never really could take y'all too serious. Y'all was like Tracy McGrady fans, Dirk fans, stuff like that. But y'all didn't have y'all didn't hate the Lakers like I did. Y'all like Kobe. Y'all was like singing Kobe's praises.
Kobe my guy.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, you're not. That's no fandom. That you can't like the person you hate. Like, no.
I don't hate Kobe.
I think it's different when you're a
opposition.
That's where it says it's different though.
Los Angeles Lakers is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Y'all knew y'all wasn't winning nothing. You know what I mean? It's like you just have you
hold up. Even if we did, it would have to be like I was an Eastern Conference person. Even when I was with Houston, I wasn't. So I had to worry about the Texas, trio.
That's what I mean.
More so than LA.
And when I say hate, I'm not talking about like I don't. Of course, I respect them and honor their greatness as basketball players. I'm talking about.
If I was a Spurs fan from jump, then of course.
Yeah, because it's the immediate rival.
That's what I mean.
You're competing with them for titles directly.
Kobe and Tim, they won 10 championships. When you put it like that, but that means any other time it could have been any one of them.
That's what I mean.
But even still, you go back. What was that? There's the same. Like it was between Kobe, Shaq, and Tim Duncan. One that made the finals every year for like 10 years, something like that.
But I'm getting to my point. My point is because I hated the Lakers, I respected how great Shaquille O'Neal was as a big man. I hated that guy, but I'm like, God damn, he's just so big. He's so dominant. Why? Like we can't really stop him. Even when we beat him, it wasn't like it was easy. You know what I mean? When I look at how I want my big man to dominate, I compare them to Shaquille O'Neal. So when Shaquille O'Neal says something like this, it pisses me off because you know what it reminds me of? Orlando Shaq. Shaq, when he wanted to bring the ball up and dribble and be athletic and all that kind of stuff. But when Shaq became the real Shaq, he wasn't doing all that. He was the big diesel, down low, dominating, destroying guys. And that's what I want from Wemby. You're 7'5". Like, I don't need you shooting all these threes. I'm glad you can do it. I'm glad you can hit a jumper when it's there. But I need you inside, big fella. I want you to be the most dominant big. Like, yeah, Shaq is great. He got to get some more weight, like get in the weight room, get a little bit more solid. But he needs to be dominating. And everything is just too finesse for me sometimes. I'm like, the way he fell on the floor and fell on his face, that was embarrassing. Like a man of your size should not be that fragile. I'm sorry, man. Like,
he knocked himself unconscious. That's not. I ain't gonna say that's fragile.
But I think
he's 7'5".
It's hard for me to wrap my hands around. I like the guy, I support the guy. I don't want people to crown him so early where he still hasn't fully developed into what he should be as. Like, let's hold up. Like. Slow down a second. You know what I mean? Let the man mature into his full matured body to play this game at the highest level before we heap all of this praise on him. That's all I'm saying. It's like Kobe. It's like KG. Early in their career, they were skin and bones. They were, you know what I mean? Like they grew into being those dominant players. But if you put too much expectation on some of these guys early, you never know what happens. You know, they start falling into those early traps. Like, this is my game. I don't need to do anything different. I don't need to give. No, I want him. My big man needs to average at least 10 rebounds a night. Come on, man. Like, he plays too finesse for me. Like, nothing. I mean, I love the blocks. Not taking nothing away from the blocks. But give me some boards, man. Go down low and do the dirty work. Anyway, that's my rant. And that's just something about I wanted him to be like, if I could, like Joel. Joel does the threes and all that kind of stuff too. But it's just something about the Joel feels a little bit more rough around the edges to me. Y'all get what I'm trying to say? I don't know. No. He has the finesse. What the hell you talking about? He has a good package. Like, he can dribble. He can take you off the dribble. He can do the post game. He can do all those moves. But I just feel Wemby is 7'5". Like, I want more
easy baskets. More stuff.
My favorite guy, like Giannis. I want more Giannis than Wemby. You know what I mean? Every time when Giannis was in his prime, Giannis was trying to rip the rim down. You know what I mean? That's what I want.
Giannis is stronger, so it's easier for him to go through people.
Get in the weight room, Wemby.
Okay, he's still 7'5". Like, he's playing against that. He's playing against the fact that if he plays like Giannis for a half season, he won't make it to the other half. He won't make it, man. He ain't gonna make it. He gonna get hurt. So keep playing the way he playing. He's avoiding that. I mean, he did get last year was like a fluke. That was fluke. that was flukish. That was like a blood clot or whatever like that. Like so, but besides that, like he's been playing very safe basketball enough ways though he's put up enough stats. Defensive player of the year, swept the first round. Like let the man live. Okay, let the man live. Again, if it wasn't for Jokic, he'll be your favorite player.
I'm just explaining my point of view. Jokic is just not a body guy. He's just an effort and energy guy. That's just who Jokic is. He's going to go all out. But he grew into that. He wasn't that right off the bat. So I'm not holding him to a Jokic standard. I'm saying 7'5", I want Shaq. That's what I want. I want Shaquille O'Neal. So for Shaquille to say that, I don't know. Anyway, other series that we haven't talked about yet is tonight, the Rockets and the Lakers. Lakers are up 3-1 in LA. Calvin, do they close it out tonight?
Yes.
Is they don't want to go back?
No.
Okay.
They don't want to go back to Houston. I mean, and they had a great defensive performance last game in Houston. So, but you're home. You know, OKC is waiting for you. You know, you still get another 3 or 4 days off. So you end it tonight.
Justin.
I agree. I was looking at the Magic. That's over now. So Detroit held off elimination. But yeah, I agree. You try to end it. You don't want to linger too much. We're talking about the Lakers, right?
Yeah.
You know what? Let me talk about the Lakers, man. Let's talk about the Rockets. Kevin Durant, man, you going out bad, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. What? I don't see where he got hurt at. And next thing you know, it's like, the contusion or whatever, ankle contusion. Man, get out there, man. Your guys are playing, man. And
are you calling him soft?
Are you calling him a liar? Are you saying he's faking an injury?
I think I think the injury is there. I just think that he don't have the extra oomph to go out there and play.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
You question his heart. You question his heart.
His testicular fortitude.
I just don't think he cares.
So let me ask you a question. Do you think that if he was playing for another team, he would be out there? You think it's more so the team and his teammates?
If he thought that his team could win, yeah. Yeah.
So you're saying he's a front runner?
Has he not proven to be a front runner his whole career?
I guess my only issue with that,
he joined the team that was out front.
Well, that's true. I guess my only issue is they did win a game. You would think that would kind of like.
Nah, if you don't F with those Negroes, you don't F with them. Let's just call it what it is.
Yeah,
that was
yeah. And to be honest,
I agree with you.
They don't F with him. I think they won that game in spite of. I don't think Jabari Smith kind of called him out a little bit, just real light. Like I don't think they bang with him. I think they think all that burner account stuff was real.
Well, I think they know that.
It's like,
I think they know.
All right, you talking ish about us, and now you're not playing. Well, F it. So it's a bunch of YNs on that team. I don't think they care.
I guess the question would be, is this the worst trade in NBA history? Or the worst in a long time? Because Houston, think about what they gave up to get KD. Think about it. Like, they could have had, like, some of the dogs they gave to Phoenix to get KD could possibly, they gave up a future in a way. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't tell me that Jalen Green and Dylan Brooks are still on this team. I will see them.
They beat the Lakers.
You will see them beating the Lakers.
With just LeBron, no Luka, no AR. I think
it's the same Lakers team. Yeah.
I really just
because you know what it is that when on that previous team they knew the pecking order. Sengun was eating. All of a sudden his play dried up. Did he stop? Did he not learn how to? Did he lose basketball skills? No, it's another force here.
Yes. He had to adjust his game, I think, too. But we can talk about that with the OKC and Phoenix series, there is something to be said about too many cooks, though. But you know what I mean? Like when you got Sengun, who's emerging, Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, that's a good little nucleus. If Fred VanVleet never gets hurt, keep him there. That's something to build off of. You blow it up to go get KD, and now everybody's looking at each other like, okay, we brought you here to be the savior. Go win the game. You know, no point guard.
Yeah.
They never addressed the point guard situation, even at the trade deadline. Yeah. That's mismanagement. I mean, at the end of the day. So yeah, that's why I say I look at the trade as y'all would have talked of the town last year, and you decided it wasn't good enough. You wanted to make an upgrade. If we got KD, and don't get me wrong, KD is still a great sniper. I don't think KD is your primary guy at this stage of his career. I think KD should be a second or possibly even a third option. I know that sounds crazy, but in Golden State, when it's successful, Steph was the number one who took a back seat for KD, but Steph could still be the number one if need be. Clay was still over in the corner doing his thing, and KD could just dominate. He got one-on-ones. You want to be able to double. Who can you double?
Could you tell me the pecking order for the Los Angeles Lakers when healthy?
LeBron took the third spot, like you say.
LeBron. Yeah, so if LeBron can take the third spot, then what are we talking about here? What are we talking about? Point.
I agree. That's what I'm saying. KD doesn't need to be the number one at this stage in his life, and that's again.
But that's what they traded for. That's why they traded for him.
That's what I'm saying. But did you think Sengun was going to continue to grow off of what he was? And in theory, a good inside-out game. If VanVleet is there, you got KD, you got Sengun. You hoping that some of those young guys continue to maturate over the year. You do think you got a little squad. I'm not saying they don't have talent, but you gave up Jalen Green. You know what I mean? You gave up Dylan Brooks, who was your toughness. I think that took away a lot.
Yeah, as the season played itself out, didn't what KD brings is preseason hype. That's what KD brings. Shout out to all the Phoenix Suns squad, the Brooklyn squads, and all this other stuff. When
you gonna be on that team next year,
you get that preseason hype, and then let the season play out. Say it again.
You gonna be on that team next year?
No, he gone.
They might trade him this summer.
He gone. They gonna trade him before game 6.
Calvin, what's his contract? Look into that for
us. He signed an extension with when he got
after he got traded.
Yeah, so I think it's 2. I think it's I believe it's 2 years. I think he had 1 year left and he signed an extension. But let me double check.
Yeah. All right, but Phoenix got up out of there in 4 games. They were scrappy. They were talking bad stuff, and SGA said, "I ain't got to talk. I'll just show you." The guy's cold, man. SGA is I think he the coldest player in the league right now. It is what it is. What's your update, Calvin?
Yeah, 2-year extension. So he has a player option for 27-28. So he's under contract for the next 2 years.
So they probably gonna
somebody will take that above him. Somebody take that.
Think so.
Yeah, man.
Maybe Washington.
Like he's like Darrell Reeves, man. Like he's a gunner. He's a hired hand. So any team always looks at their roster and like, yo, we're like one player away. Like we're like, yo, we get rid of 1 or 2 pieces and we add a KD and we get that preseason hype, we good to go.
Yeah. Like I say, as a second or third option, I don't mind it. Maybe even third at this point, but yeah, we'll see. So yeah, that sets up Lakers. If they win tonight against Houston, they will have to go to OKC. The Phoenix Suns out of there against the OKC Thunder. So it'd be San Antonio hosting the winner of the Denver and Minnesota series. And now Minnesota lost Ant-Man, as we talked about briefly earlier. Anthony Edwards is going to be missing a few weeks with a hyperextended knee. Thankfully, he didn't have an ACL, no Achilles, none of that. So he will be able to bounce back from that. But unfortunately, it might not be enough. Like as Calvin gloated about earlier, Minnesota was able to get a victory in that game. Just, sometimes when a guy goes down, the energy, the team plays off adrenaline, and they actually able to get it done. But Game 4, Denver settled in Game 5, excuse me, and got this series to 3-2. Now the series goes back. We'll see what happens tomorrow night. I believe that game is. Yes, it's tomorrow night in Minnesota, 9:30 p.m. Nuggets Timberwolves series at 3-2. That's going to be a big one. You got Philly and Boston in Philly, 3-2. And then you got the Hawks and the Knicks, 3-2 in Atlanta. So tomorrow night, some big matchups to determine what these series are going to look like. Calvin, any final thoughts before we get moving on?
No. Look, Denver's supposed to win at this point. Like I said, it's just a matter of why does it take you so long? I got questions for you, Joker. And let's be for real. I'm also the one that said I could see Joker not winning another title. So let's this ain't nothing new. I'm just saying.
Denver to go to the finals.
That was
stop acting like you weren't on the bandwagon. Like, stop it.
Preseason. We can all become enlightened.
Dominic asked in the chat, who you got going to the finals? He clearly wasn't here a couple weeks ago when we did our prediction show, re-prediction show, because we did one before the season.
Well, you got to ask Calvin every 2 weeks.
I didn't change nothing. You know what I mean? My pick stayed the same. But
Calvin might change.
Your pick changed. Justin's pick changed. You got the Rockets in the finals, Justin?
No, sir. But things change. You know what I'm saying? But the way you brought it up is like you just did it. I feel like you just did it.
No. So let's go through it. So I had OKC, New York. That's not chalk.
I got San Antonio, New York. Once again,
y'all got something different.
And I got Denver versus Boston, and I've had that.
So both your teams may not make out the first round.
Now look, you think Boston going down? You want to put something on it? Make a light on yourself. What you want to do? Like, come on.
It's going 7. It's going 7.
Okay.
And then they're going to blow them out.
They got Spurs and the Celtics. Look, if the Celtics act like they know, because Tatum can do more than shoot threes. Like, the man only took 2 shots in the fourth quarter the other night for some strange reason. I guess Jaylen Brown said, okay, this is my team. Let me do what I do. And they lost. But again, Tatum is probably one of the best drivers of the basketball I've seen in a while. That man finishes at the rim. Like, every time he come down, I think about the injury for a second. Like, is he going to land to, you know what I mean? But he's fine.
One thing I'm interested in, I haven't looked, is he shooting more threes this postseason than last postseason per game?
The team?
No, just him. Just
Tatum.
Him. Yeah.
I don't know. It seemed like he's shooting less threes to me.
Mm-hmm. I know he played 48.
Parlays is out.
I think he played 48 minutes the other night. But I mean, that was a closeout game, so you win, you get rest. But I just wonder if he's still getting acclimated to post Achilles at this point.
They need more of the Olympian. The Olympian need to actually show up and give him something. Ooh. You know what I mean? Derek White. How about that?
Olympics.
I was going to say, who played during the Olympics?
That's the one that you don't want. You just want to do that.
I'm not talking about Jason Tatum. I'm talking about Derek White.
Oh.
You need more from him. He was an Olympian. He was an Olympian over Jaylen Brown. Do something.
That is true. Yeah, I mentioned that earlier. He definitely not having the same season as series as he did in previous. So I mean, he's just a shell of himself. He's back to being
the white boy saved him in one game. Pritchard went crazy. Like he went bonkers. So we'll see what happens in the next game. Sometimes the role players do play better at home. So we'll keep it. Well, no, they're in Philly. So now it's not even
game 6,
yeah. Sometimes role players play better on the road. You know, maybe it works both ways. Next up, I want to talk about this because this came up. LeBron James gave an interview to Dave McMenamin. Did you all see it? And it once again, and I hate having this discussion, which is why we don't really talk about it here on this show. All of us have Michael Jordan as the greatest basketball player in the history of the sport, correct? Let's just get that on the record. Calvin?
Yeah.
Justin? So we are all clear on that. The discussion was about him being compared to Michael Jordan and people trying,
Say that again.
Our games are totally different.
Oh.
But because he wore 23, it opened up the comparisons and the chosen one. And it was like a big discussion was had about this. Like he put a target on his back by doing certain things that Jordan did, by trying to be like Mike as far as with the tennis shoe, going to Nike, again, wearing 23, doing the powder toss, like the chosen one tattoo on his back, like the king, like kind of like he was on the cover of Sports Illustrated, like who's next? He's next type of deal. A lot of this is media driven. Can we agree to that? A lot of these discussions are media driven. I listen to Michael Wilbon, and I hate watching First Take. Y'all know I hate Stephen A. But I listened to a clip because Michael Wilbon was on there this morning. He said he talked to Michael Jordan. He's not really supposed to tell this, but Michael was like, when you go on TV tomorrow, take it easy on LeBron because y'all don't know how hard it is to go through at some of the struggles, yada, 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 yada. But my thing is, how would we know these things unless people in the media are reporting these things back? So clearly, the things that LeBron get blamed of, because Stephen A. say, "Oh, his people get the message out."
That's his.
You wanna Jordan's people, so True. You're a mouthpiece for Michael Jordan.
True.
How do we? Jordan don't go and do no interviews. Jordan don't go and tell us nothing. We hear from Michael Wilbon, Stephen A. Smith, and these guys who are close to Michael Jordan, who get the message out on his behalf. It was such a hypocritical conversation. It kind of pissed me off because I hate having this Jordan LeBron discussion, but it's not fair to hold one to this standard that you don't hold the other two. Calvin, I'm sure you heard some of the discussion. What was your thoughts?
I'll even take a step further with the whole Stephen A. Smith mouthpiece. When he was on, I don't remember where it was on. He made a comment that we can't even count Michael Jordan's Wizard years.
Oh my God!
And I'm like, wait, did he play basketball? Like, what do we?
And then somebody said, didn't Jordan leave the game, go play baseball, come back, and Orlando beat him in the playoffs? We forget about that too.
Yeah.
But anyway, was it a full season?
Don't matter. You came back. Wait till next year. The Rockets won 2 titles in that time span. But anyway, Jordan's the greatest ever. I'm not using that to discredit him. What I'm saying is, people are trying to act like LeBron is doing something different as any other superstar with he's just doing it in a social media age.
You know, the biggest difference in my opinion is because we've seen this with Kobe, we've seen this with Vince Carter, we've seen this with the athletic wings previously, but those guys were never said that they were better than Mike publicly or they never said they're better than Mike publicly in front of the media. When LeBron has said it on more than one occasion, whether or not that's amongst his friends or his contemporaries,
and he
gives off that, and that's the problem. That's the difference. Now they may have believed. I'm pretty sure you can ask any basketball player.
Kobe didn't think I'm the baddest.
You can't tell me Kobe didn't think he was better than Mike at whatever point. He just never said it publicly. And because you say it publicly, now it's free range to say, "Oh, you're not because you didn't do this and he did this." He went to Game 7, and you're keeping this narrative alive. But if he went out and said, "I don't think I'm the best," you would kill him then as well.
He saw
because what do you want? You want me to tell the truth, but you want me to be humble when I do it because you want this narrative of who you think is the greatest. I can't say I'm the great. Like it's a whole tone the fine line thing. If you don't toe the fine line, then we have a problem with it. Or we give you your flowers when you're gone, like Kobe. Because when Kobe was, everyone talked about, oh, he's just trying to be like Mike. He'll never be like Mike. Now he's the next best thing closer to Mike. He should be the top 2 greatest of all time. It's so much. You have to do what I want the way I want to, and if you don't, then I'm not on your side. I'm not gonna push your narrative. So it is.
But that. Before you go, Justin, that's another point, though. Isaiah takes shots at Mike all the time. And what they label Isaiah, oh, he a hater. He a hater. You know what I mean? Isaiah been hating Mike for 30 years. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, since what, 88? Since the All-Star game in 88? Off the Dream Team. He got real gripes. He beat him in the playoffs multiple times. He got a real statement to be like, he ain't as good as y'all say he is. But again, it's who's delivering the message. John Sally was on TV for years saying Michael Jordan not the greatest ever. I mean, we used to destroy him all the time. He ain't beat us until we got old. But I mean, we watched his career after that, and we can look at it and be like,
"That's a problem." Though it's like, hey,
you can't. It only count when I played him. You know what I mean? I'm like, bro, it's the lens that you see the game through. Justin, you go ahead. Then I got another point I want to make.
3 things, real quick, and this is all self-inflicted. People say that they don't like the way that LeBron James plays the game, the flopping and all this other stuff that he does. That's on record. That's what he did, and you don't see Jordan carry himself the exact same way. So that's a knock for LeBron. 2, no one told you to be called King James, or more importantly, 2, to have the chosen one on your back. You are literally saying that I am chosen to be the best. So when you are chosen to be the best, or someone had to say who is the best. So it's an automatic comparison right there. So you put yourself in that comparison as soon as you decided to get that tattoo. I don't care how young you were, you get when you got it. You got it. So it is what it is. And 3, like you said, Calvin, he said that I'm the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? When I came back against Golden State, I am the GOAT.
Okay, in his mind, he said, I was the GOAT.
He said it out. He said it within the conversation that was in front of an audience. So with that being said,
he said, in my mind, when I came back from down 3-1,
that's the conversation. He said that one put me over top or something like that. Yeah.
There was a great MC that said, if I ain't better than Big, I'm the closest one. You don't necessarily have to say that you are the best, especially when you're in public. You don't have to say that you're the best one, but I say, if I ain't better than MJ, I'm the closest one. If he would have said that, which would have been very apropos when it came to hip-hop, because that was Jay-Z that I just quoted, he would have been just fine. No one would have looked at you twice. No one would have, people would have been like, yo, I think you are better than MJ. I think you can say that. But let them talk about it. Let them say it. MJ never said he was the best. He let other people talk for him.
Yes, he
the
did.
Wilborns of the world.
Stop it. Stop it.
Where did you see that?
The same thing. If I have someone push the narrative that I want them to push, is that not me using them as my mouthpiece? The same thing.
Hey, if I didn't say it, that's all that matters. That's all that matters. I can't tell.
So as many times as
hey, man, you watching this show? I love it. Yes, sir.
As many times as Mike has said, I don't think I'm the greatest, and then Stephen A. come back on here and say, well, he's the GOAT. Is he not pushing the narrative?
That's not him. You're
right. That's his mouthpiece.
You let Stephen A. Smith do it. You let the Skip Baylesses of the world do it. You can have people do it for you, Paul, but you ain't got to do it.
No, you can't. Stephen A. just said on First Take this morning, you got Rich Paul and these people. When you talk to them, they take it personal when you say he's not. What's the difference? Y'all on national TV saying what y'all saying. Rich Paul them behind the scenes.
Right, so he got to get somebody on national TV to do it. That's all. He got to get somebody else.
You do. That's why you got Shannon Sharp.
He got to pay somebody else on. Maybe let them talk for you.
He got Gilbert Arenas. He got Shannon Sharp. He got plenty of people out here.
There you go.
Who see that point of view. But that's not the point. The point is when you have been trying to undercut a man's value forever, like the man has been undercut from day one because he dared to say
he's a
put a tattoo on his back and say I'm the
chosen. He dared to say that at 18.
As soon as I step forward as a rookie, I'm better than all you guys.
Wemby out here saying whatever you want to say. And Shaq said,
that's all Wemby said.
He's the most gifted big man. He's the best.
He said it about him. Wemby didn't say that about himself.
Wemby is talking mad stuff. Go listen to some of Wemby's interviews. And that's why a lot of people are like, I don't know, Vic, you need to calm down with some of that stuff. Wemby talking some stuff, but I'm not hating on that. I like bravado. I like talking. The point is,
king.
Stephen A. said, I say he's number 2, and that's wrong. I put him out of 5,000 some basketball players that's ever played the game. I'm putting him at number 2, and that's wrong. I'm like, okay, let's think about this for a second. Is if you're putting him above all these other players, but you're not putting him above Michael Jordan, what is the point of keep making it a discussion? That means you put him above Kobe, you put him above Magic, you put him up. The reason why it becomes a discussion point is because to make your point on why he's not number one, you have to bring up negatives to make the case of this is why LeBron is not number one. And you negative the case so much to make sure that people understand why he's not better than Michael Jordan. On the other hand, to make sure that people know that Jordan is number one, but you also love Kobe Bryant, you love Magic Johnson. How many times have you heard people say Magic ain't the greatest because of what?
Kareem.
Okay, what else?
What you want to say? The longevity. What you could name a number of things why people say
Magic.
That dirty woman.
But do you hear that in the discussion point? Do you hear that in the discussion point?
No,
they don't disrespect Magic to prop up Jordan. They don't disrespect Kobe to prop up Jordan.
But when
it comes to LeBron, you have to undercut anything positive to make it sure that everybody knows that LeBron is not Jordan, and that's the problem. So it becomes
we have revisionist history
comparison,
and we're suffering from that. We're suffering from revisionist history because
even the conversation is not happening back then; it's happening now. And I think
when after like the 88-89 season and stuff like that, they said Jordan was the greatest of all time. They were saying it then.
It was set in stone.
Everything. And then so they had to say why it wasn't Kareem. So they was putting down Kareem to say why it wasn't him and to promote MJ. So it's whoever's number two. If you have a championship game, no one remembers the semifinals to get there. No, it's why that team won versus why that team lost. It's just a part of it.
Do you see how that's
everybody
bad?
Else that
But do you see how that diminishes someone's career? If you're telling me someone is top 5,
that's just the curse of being second.
They are the greatest players to ever play the game. 5. You're naming 5 people. There should be no negatives there.
What do they call being number 2? What do they call it? The biggest loser. You are the greatest.
In this particular ranking, that should not be what it is because this is not a race. This is not a 1-on-1. Jordan never played against LeBron.
Ricky Bobby said they first and last now.
No, it's just not a 1-to-1. It's like saying right now, KD and LeBron. Yes, I can compare that to careers. They played at the same time. They have similar.
And what are you going to do? What are you going to do to KD's? What are you going to do? You're going to pick apart why KD is not LeBron. You're going to kill KD. You can say
why it happened. You can give KD the edge in when they went head to head. When he was with Golden State, he beat them twice, back to back.
No,
that gives KD a nod.
That's not what they say.
I'm not they. I'm talking about me.
He had Steph, he had Clay, he had all these other things.
But that's a fact.
They built up an excuse.
To undercut LeBron, they say he had D-Wade, he had Chris Bosh, he had to go to Miami.
Most number one draft picks.
He had to
needed help. All this other stuff.
He didn't stay in Cleveland. He escaped. He was the reason why KD made the decision.
That's the curse of being.
That's my point. That's my point. You telling me this is the second greatest basketball player of all time, and all you're doing is telling me negatives? That's the point I'm trying to make, and it's going to hurt. It hurts basketball, and I really mean this. I really mean this. This is why basketball has suffered over the last several years, because you're cutting down today's game to prop up the past, and so many people who used to watch the game, they feel this. They have to have this loyalty.
You need to stay relevant.
The loyalty to what they loved when they first loved the game. So in order to keep true to Michael Jordan, we have to cut down everything that's happening right now and say, because nobody that's playing right now is in this discussion other than LeBron James. That's the point. Steph Curry. These are great players. But to make your case, it feels like you're saying the game sucks now. And when we played back in the day, or when we watched the game back in the day, it was better. So you got these Charles Barkleys and these guys up here talking. So people stop watching. They're like, well, why would I want to watch that? If it's not as good as it was 20 years ago, you're not promoting the game. You're not springing it forward. You're not talking about what's great about basketball. That's why NFL's taking over. Don't nobody sit up there and talk about, well, when Joe Montana was playing, he was way better than the quarterbacks of today. No, you're talking about Lamar. You're talking about these guys who playing it a different way.
And then Tom kept
playing it a different way, That's what I'm saying.
That's what they tried.
Lamar has never won a title, but we still can. We got eyes. We can see he's a great player. You know what I mean? That's my point. with basketball, it's like, if you ain't win no titles, you don't count. Like, you're not in the conversation.
It's a different sport.
I get it, but I'm just saying it hurts the sport. It hurts the popularity of the sport.
I think it's too much negativity over the bubble that is the NBA. And
look, even your wife, and he's not Jordan. Okay, we're not watching Jordan no more. Jordan's not playing. So why are we romanticizing?
I can YouTube Jordan.
We're romanticizing yesterday's game, and it's hurting today's game. I can get a reminder. And we wonder why the ratings are down. People are not interested because you hear so much about how, the game was so much better 30 years ago. Oh, we could just go back to the old days. Man, move on. It's over. Anyway, that's my rant for the night. It's pissing me off because I like the game today. It's not like it was when I was young. Of course it's not. But it's enjoyable. How about we just enjoy the game for what it is? Go ahead.
It's just what you choose to talk about. Football players could do the exact same thing. Who's the greatest receiver of all time? Jerry Rice. About is Jerry Rice?
Is he?
That's what people say. Who's the greatest running back of all time?
Well, Barry Sanders. We're gonna argue it.
Who? You know what I'm saying? I can go through the whole list and everybody in the past is better than everybody now.
I don't think
it's just people don't argue that no more. They don't. There's no one to
because the game is great now. So we don't need to argue about 30 years ago.
That can compare stats with those guys. That's why.
LeBron
was good enough to have a resume that's big enough to go against everybody else, and especially Jordan. That's why it's different. It ain't close in other sports.
I hear you. I'm just saying.
Ain't no Barry Bonds right now.
Let me ask you a question. Right now, in 20 years, no, you got some players that people think is better. So you got some players out there right now who people think statistically.
Only one.
Shohei, Ohtani.
So he don't count.
If you put your arms around that, he's a bigger star in some of those players from yesteryear. But maybe we just not. Why not?
Shohei.
Internationally,
he's the greatest baseball player ever.
He don't count. This is an American game.
Better than Babe Ruth. Don't even get me started on that BS. But that's a whole nother conversation.
I get it. I'm just saying, from if you don't prop up and enjoy what's happening now, you will lose your audience. We've seen this happen. Look how baseball went into a dip because the steroid era happened, and then people just said, "I'm not watching this Super Bowl," and they went away. Especially people like us. You know what I mean?
The problem, I think, you're trying to wrap it up. And apologies for extending the pause.
No.
The problem is the right guy isn't winning. That's truly what the problem is. Let's just say, we are hypothetically speaking all this other stuff. They was promoting, not Ja, Anthony Edwards was like, what do they say? The mini Jordan and all this other stuff. But he lost. Had he had the same career as Shea, then we talking about the NBA in a whole different light.
That's because
I don't know why that is.
That's because he's American. We know the difference.
But LeBron was American.
No. You talking about now? I thought you talking about now. Like
so right now, the game will be talked about totally different if Anthony Edwards was having that same career that Shea's having.
You're right. He will be talked about as Jordan-esque. He will be in that conversation.
It's a little different because of style of play, though. Shea ain't
no, because
right. So it brings all those feelings that you had about LeBron, young LeBron, prime Jordan, so on and so forth. Anthony Edwards was literally he is that.
It's like chicks love the long like baseball. You love home runs.
Win.
Basketball, you want dunks. You want spectacular plays. It's like, I can't wrap my arms around Wemby like that. He's a great player, but I want some Shaq. You know what I mean? I want some emphatic plays. If Giannis could have stayed healthy, for me, the way that I like the game, now I want Giannis to shoot it a little better. Don't get me wrong, but if I can get big highlights out of Giannis every night, that's the type of basketball I don't mind watching that. From my superstar, I'm not saying every team has to be like that. But the thing, we were spoiled, especially in the 2000s, when you had
2000.
Man, you had every type of style of basketball.
We talked about that during the eras. Check out the archives. We went through every era of basketball, and it was just something about that 2000 era where, like you said, it was just multiple different styles all within the same game. Within one game, you had people that was great at posting. You had mid range. You had shooters. You had crossovers. You had handles. You had a little bit of everything, so everyone could find their niche. You can't look at basketball the same way right now. So, but that's us sounding like we get off our long guy.
But that's what I just said earlier, though. That's my point. What that we have in the 2000s, you had big men who still wanted to be big men, but then you had these other guys who started to, okay, we can shoot too. It was starting to blend that more. So you had both the best of both worlds. When now you're 7'5", your 7'5" center is camping out at the 3-point line. I mean, what we got here? You know what I mean? Jokic ain't down there dominating nobody. Embiid can't stay on the court long enough to do nothing. You know what I mean? Where's the variety? Everybody wants to shoot threes. In the 2000s, you had your Sacramentos, your Phoenixes, your Dallases, your Golden States here and there. But everybody wasn't jacking up all these 3-point shots every night like they do now.
It's funny
but you took that mold. You took that model.
In the last game when New York played, Karl-Anthony Towns he got inside, did a power move, and he dunked it. Like he gave him a shoulder.
And everybody went crazy, didn't they?
Can you not do that 5 times a game, my guy? Like,
yes, I agree.
What in the hell did I just watch?
Big perk.
So yes, I overall
it's much more entertaining. It's much more entertaining when guys do go to the hole. Like, I'm not saying we want to go back to the 90s because I know people romanticize that. There was a lot of fouls and a lot of free throws.
It was a team that scored 54 points in the finals. In the 90s. We don't want to go back there.
No.
We don't want to go back
there.
The
90s was some slugs, man. Like, foul. Like, they were hitting each other.
Pace of play was terrible. Spacing was terrible.
Man, we ain't know no better, but damn. But I'm saying, like, I still like the game comparatively speaking, but I'm just saying, promote your game, man. And especially us as basketball fans, talk about the good, talk about the bad, but don't always make it about, 30 years ago, this is what they did. When we lived through the 90s, they wasn't all that either. Like let's be honest. Like, you had your superstars, but there were a lot more average players than great players in the 90s. That's just the truth. Let's keep it moving. NFL draft has wrapped. Everybody's team has been solidified. Calvin, I'm coming to you first because I need to talk about these Ravens. What was your thoughts? What's the chuckle?
Your wife on one.
Sean, I was reading the comments. Hey, man. Your husband's favorite player is the main guy. But anyway, soft as cottonelle tissue. Ant-Man.
With a name like Big
Carl Anthony Towns and Wemby. He just in the same mode.
How you let that man call himself Big Purr? that bother.
Yeah, that's bad.
What we talking about? What we talking about? I thought we were talking about the draft.
Anyway, Calvin, what was your thoughts overall on the Ravens draft? I looked through all their selections. Some of them I was familiar with. Some of them I did a little research on. I'm sure you took a little deeper look. What's your thoughts?
I think they hit their needs. You address the line. You're now deep on offensive line, especially on the interior when you sign Simpson as well as draft. I'm not going to try to pronounce his name. I'll get to it eventually. But when you're adding to you're making your weakness your strength, then you also pick up the kid from Missouri on the end, who they were comparing to another Dwight Freeney. Not saying that's going to be his ceiling, but you have a guy with a high motor who can play against the run, opposite of Hendrickson. You can put him in rotation with Mike Green and with Tavares Robinson, and not even mention the scheme of Mike Minter that's going to help him out as well. You pick up 2 receivers. Now they're like undeveloped, mostly just running non-routes. I'm sorry, and playing against smaller corners. but you do pick up additional pass catchers that you can hopefully get in rotation if a Tez Walker doesn't step up. So overall, I like the draft because you hit your needs. I would have liked to have gotten a tight end earlier, but I understand that you couldn't do that with Philly getting the kid Stowers from Vanderbilt. And I still believe that they're getting Njoku at some point. I feel like that's been you're just waiting for the right time or waiting post June 1st to sign Njoku. So overall, I'm happy with the Ravens draft. You address one of your bigger needs on offensive line. You get arguably the best offensive lineman in the draft at pick 14. You can run now. You should be able to run the ball better. You have better protection for Lamar. So, overall, I like the Ravens draft.
So, you like the line?
I like the line now. Yes, I like the guards.
They drafted 2 linemen in the entire draft.
Yeah, they drafted one offensive lineman, one defensive lineman, and they drafted.
They took another lineman in the 7th round.
Hey, I wouldn't count him. I don't think he makes the roster, but
okay. So they drafted 1 guard.
Yes,
and an offensive line that really needed a lot of help.
Yes,
you thought that was the right move.
I think I wanted Bain. But if you're telling me that I have Mentor and his scheme can make players better as well, then I'm okay with not taking Bain. And if you're gonna have a better offensive lineman to run the ball with Derrick Henry to protect Lamar Jackson's offense, then I'm okay with it. And if you're projecting him to be the best offensive lineman in this draft as a guard and on the interior where you got pushed around a lot last year, between your 2 guards in your center, 2 of which aren't here anymore, then I'm okay with that pick. And I think it's the best pick for what they want to do, especially seeing as though we're not going to have no Ricard. So you're relying on the 5 linemen and the tight end that they got from Cleveland. I'm sorry, from Chicago to be your blockers for Lamar and for Derrick Henry. So, I mean, the moves aren't done yet, but to get the best offensive lineman in the draft, B+.
Oh. Justin, what's your grade? Tell us about the Tampa Bay draft. What was your thoughts?
Well, I'm gonna stay on the Ravens for one quick second. I do like the lineman that y'all picked up. That's a safe pick. That was a very safe, and hopefully he can be a Pro Bowl. Didn't allow a sack in Daniel all of college. Like that's a stat. So he's definitely a force. I like y'all went with the position of I'm just going to draft multiple guys for multiple spots, and we just want to see who wins the camp. You know, you picked up 2 wide receivers. They both need their time, but I think Jacoby Lane is the best one out of that. So 6'4", 200 can catch. He has like Daniel 4.4 off the vertical. Like he's tough. So yeah, I was looking at y'all team. And y'all definitely need like a red zone threat. And that's kind of who y'all picked up. So hopefully he can pan out for y'all because, it can't be all on Zay. But with that, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, y'all went with a multiple position philosophy. We went with just one thing and one thing only. We had to get tougher. We were soft at the end of the day. And I think the whole league knew it. This is no shot to nobody else, but when you give up 4th quarter leads, when you lose the last 6 out the last 8 or something along those lines, that is a character issue. That is a character issue in which something that needs to be addressed, and that's what we did. Ruben Bain is a great great fall. So shout out to that. 2 picking up Keontae, his Miami safety. And he had his best statistical season, or I guess stats, is when he lined up the same side as Bain and then kind of worked together. So they have already a pairing going into the league, into the NFL league. And at the end of the day, we picked up we found a Mike Evans replacement. We got another 6'4" guy ourselves that's going to come in and hopefully play dividends. So we just got meaner, bro. And at the end of the day, that's just what it was, man. We were soft, bro. And I hated that. It's something that I never wanted to admit it. But at the end of the day, nobody looked at Tampa Bay and said, "Oh, we got to play Tampa Bay and we get scared." Man, The whole league ain't think like that. So that's what we did. And even with our free agent pickups, we picked up some nastier guys. Still high character, but just nastier dudes. And let's see how it pans out. But overall, like I said, if we get Ruben Bain, you can't tell me that we ain't get an 8th grade. So to me, it's an 8 for me.
Yeah, that was good on y'all. I love the Ruben Bain pick. I would have loved to see the Ravens make a move like that. But I understood the drafting the offensive lineman. A guard, like you said, if he turns into Marshall Yonder, you've done a great job. Ben Grubbs even, whatever. But here's my thought. I give the Ravens a solid C-, to be honest with you. Offensive line is still an issue. Center is still an issue. Like, who's playing center for you, Calvin?
I don't think the center for this. I don't think the center that's going to start week 1 is on his team yet. So, but likewise, I don't reach for a center that I don't think can contribute. So I'm not.
Why is it a reach in the second round? That was a center sitting there. According to many reports, they thought the Ravens were going to pick him up. Why not pick him, develop him?
But you had to trade up. If I remember correctly, you had to trade up for him.
He was sitting there when you picked.
No, I didn't think he was there.
Yes, he was. You went with the guy Zion. Zion Hill.
The lineman from there. Yeah,
it was like Missouri. He was more a pop off the screen type of guy. Apparently, did you see any of his film? I looked at
I saw his film, but I mean, look, my thing with the center position. One, I don't think they were ever going to draft a center. I think they picked up the guy from Indy who's played center. They talked about their draft pick potentially. He played center on freshman year at Penn State, which I don't think is going to happen. But I don't think that the center on this team, the center that's going to start week 1, like I said, is on his team as of yet. Is it a need? Of course, because you need a center. But is it a need to improve the offensive line as a whole? I think that's important. Yes, I think that's important as well.
You would eat up right down the gut. Even with Linderbaum,
and the center that we have is supposedly the best center in the world because you overpaid him by $8 million a year, but that's another conversation.
Again, I wasn't happy with that. They had 2 tight ends available that they could have took. Address that situation.
I think the one from Vanderbilt I think the guy from Vanderbilt was the better one, the one that went to Philly. So, but like I said, in my opinion, because tight end didn't seem to be an immediate need, they haven't. I think Njoku is basically signed. Not saying he's a long-term solution, but I think he's the solution for next year.
But it's not just that. My issue is you're changing your offense completely. You know, no fullback now. Yeah. So you're going to be needing tight ends and linemen. That's what you need. Like, I'm not impressed. And if anything, you had playmakers there. If you're going to get a receiver, because look, at the end of the day, we still relying on Bateman and Zay as you wanted to. Zay going into signed his 5th-year option. Go get you a young stud. Like, you right there. You're not going to hopefully never draft this.
So what would you have done draft-wise?
Me, number 1, trade.
For what?
Get more picks.
So you're going to trade your 1 to get a 4?
Move back.
To get a 4?
If you go, nobody was going to take that lineman, and they've said it. That lineman would have been there if you'd have went back 3 picks. I would let the Cowboys come up. The Cowboys wanted.
He wasn't going to be there.
If you didn't value Ruben Bain, who you could have took.
It was literally a report that the Pittsburgh tried to trade with the Rams to get ahead of the Ravens to pick him.
Okay, so where was the Rams picking at and where were the Ravens picking
the
at?
Rams were the pick before the Ravens.
So he didn't go.
No. Pittsburgh was trying to trade
and it
with
didn't
the Rams
happen.
They wanted the quarterback. They wanted Ty Simpson.
So you go back because nobody wants the lineman there. You get more picks. Take the guard and then you get an additional pick. Why just
so you gotta look at didn't Miami jump somebody for like 1 pick or something like that? You can jump another team
and
just for 1 position.
Pick up. Yeah,
and they picked up a 4.
And you get an extra pick up a 4. And we wasn't picking up no lineman. So you at least could have traded down.
And the Cowboys actually
right below us
were looking. They wanted what's the boy name? The best defensive player. Because he was sitting there too. I like who the Cowboys picked.
The Cowboys already got hit. The Cowboys had already drafted.
That's my point. They could have moved back. The guy that they wanted, they could have took Bain.
No, they wanted Caleb Downs. They didn't. That's why they didn't trade back because they picked him.
So here's my thing. To wrap this all up, I didn't think they got great value. You're never going to pick this high again if you're a good team. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah.
If you're right or wrong, you should never be picking this high.
They picked this high again 4 years ago.
So why not try to leverage that? Get as many picks as
But you're talking about trading back for what? You're talking about trading go from 14 to 18 to pick up a 4th round pick to do what?
How you know there's going to be a 4th round pick? If you're a good GM, you're going to get more for that. And you still get the guy you coveted. So you telling me when the Ravens went into this draft, they said, we're taking the guard. That's our pick.
I think he was
y'all do best player available.
Top 3 on their board. Maybe top 5.
It's a C. A solid C. No more, no less. I'm not going no more than
because that. If they wanted Sadiq, the tight end, they could have had him.
He was there.
I'm okay with not taking the tight end right there. If you wanted, because Andrews and like 3rd and 4th round draft picks, so I feel like you can find value at the tight end position. I'm okay with that. If you wanted Ruben Bain, he was there. But I think Mike Green has the potential to be better than Ruben Bain. He was a projected 1st round draft pick last year, especially in this system. Now, if you want to say in this system, Bain's ceiling is higher because of Mentor, I'm going to say, well, Mike Green's ceiling should be just as high. I need you to address your weakness. If it's possible, I need you to address your weaknesses. Your weakness was you could not run the ball. You couldn't protect Lamar. Lamar got hurt. I don't think if you trade back, you still get the guard. I'll say it like that.
What was your letter grade?
B+, I think.
So that was a B+ draft for the Ravens. I ain't got no more to say.
So if the guard is a Pro Bowl guard, is an All Pro guard, and for 5 years from now he's not on the team because he's the best guard in the league, and somebody overpays him, is that a win?
The draft is just a 1-player draft.
No. I'm not talking about the draft. I'm talking about.
I told you. I had no problem with them taking the draft. The guard. I didn't have no problem. I thought you can get him later. Is what my point was.
Okay, I disagree with that. Still got him. I don't think you could do that.
My other point was I didn't like you not addressing the rest of the offensive line, like center, the rest of the draft. You didn't take a center the whole draft.
But if you don't have a center grade out at a certain point, you're gonna reach for one.
I guess it depends on how you grade. So okay. I respect that.
Second round is starters. 3rd round are starters.
Correct. Yes. No, I agree. I agree. But if you think the center is gonna, if you think that the best center is better than I think he's gonna be, and he's there, but I have another position where I think it's a better player. And like I said, I don't think the center for this team is on the team right now.
I'm hoping for the best for Jacoby Lane. I hope he comes in and gets playing time. You're saying you think he's a starter, right?
I don't think the guy that's starting the center week 1 is on his team right now.
No. These are wide receivers. Jacoby Lane, okay. Elijah Surratt. You took 2 wide receivers in back-to-back, the 3rd round and the 4th round. Yeah. You took Zion Young, an edge rusher, in the second round. So he's going to play.
From Missouri. He's a better run stopper. Yeah.
Okay.
From the tape.
Better run stopper. In a pass.
Well, he's a better at setting the edge. I'll say it like that.
All right. Good luck to the Ravens. All right. The Giants had an excellent draft. I really enjoyed it. I thought they
passed for the best player in the draft.
I think they addressed offensive line, which they needed to, and they added yet another pass rusher to the mix who really, man, you add him to Abdul Carter and those boys. I know you lost a couple pieces in the linebacker core, but you supplemented that. They went out and made some free agent signings. I'm very impressed with what John Harbaugh and the New York Football Giants were able to do this past week. And it only solidified what I believe.
Lele.
A good coach.
For Lele.
He's a backup. He won't start. That's fine. You need depth.
Depth. Go look at the depth chart. He's number 1 right guard right now.
And if he is, like you say, the starter's not on their team right now. Ain't that what you said?
It sounds nice.
Ain't that what you said?
It sounds nice.
It sounds nice. It does.
The Baltimore Orioles have been very inconsistent. We saw them on Friday night. I mean, they were hitting home runs out of
home run derby out there.
I mean, it was sensational.
Yeah, it was anything to go to.
And then the next day, they got absolutely demolished. Like,
so bad the opposing manager got fired. I've never seen that. You should have put up 20
for others. Took out the whole crew. All y'all can go. This should have been every goddamn game.
Give me your Orioles update. Calvin, I'll start with you. No, you've been talking a lot. Justin, I'll start with
you. We got to take the positives when you can get it. Kobe Mayo has been performing very well this past week. I could not say that last week's show. So within a week, he started to get the ball over the fence. That's definitely needed. Sam Basayo has been balling, balling to the point where I keep telling you, don't need to go in on and trade Adley Rutschman. Don't need two good quality centers.
Adley played well.
Adley just had 2 runs on Friday.
Right. Get rid of him while he's playing well. Get rid of him while he's hot. Get better talent in. I keep telling you, we have his replacement. It's okay. We're still waiting on certain other individuals to get healthy. I don't know what's going on with Jackson Holiday. Like I said, Francisco Lindor, he's back, he's playing. It was another player that had the same injury. He's playing. They've been playing since game 1. He's the one that's been hurt, and then he just had a little stint in AAA when he said, "Yo, I feel like my hand is broke." Now he had the X-rays, and it turned out that it wasn't, so it was nothing wrong. But he felt that pain like it was something wrong. Like that's a problem. So I ain't gonna lie. We need him. We need him to help flush out everything that we have going defensively. Could he, let him get his second base spot? Then you can put Jackson in the outfield, and we can have a better rotation and things like that. And look, I ain't talking about what's going on with Jordan. So it's just we just a very inconsistent at best team. Trevor Rogers is getting rocked now, so he's not the ace that we wanted him to be.
He on the IL now,
and now he's hurt. So it's like, man, we just so inconsistent. But it's okay. Sometimes it's okay to be inconsistent. When you can always go upward.
Yeah,
we was bottoming out down there, Paul's already last year. It's different. It ain't over, but we got some things to do. But it's still within reach. Go ahead, Calvin.
Yeah, look, next month or May is going to be a really important month for the O's. I think they play the Yankees twice. They play the Rays or the Blue Jays twice, and then they play the Red Sox once again. So you really get into the heart of your division play. Hopefully these injuries, you start to get people back. You start to get Jackson Holiday back. Rogers will be back off the 15-day, mid-month. You got a doubleheader tomorrow, so you're going to need pitching tomorrow because you're playing a true doubleheader. That you're going to need pitching to get through that day, and hopefully you win at least one of these games. You win the series. You got to start compounding series wins, and that's how you start to move up the rankings. That's how you start to get this better record. Pitching has still been up and down. I don't understand how you score 20 runs with 6 runs on Friday, and then you give up 17 runs in the very next day. Crazy. It's just a tale of two teams. But if you can compound wins, series wins, you get healthier, the pitching gets better, then we could see some improvement. But they're just a really inconsistent team right now. But once again, it's still early. So
yeah,
there's still time.
Yeah. Shout out to Kenya. She said she was the good luck charm on Friday night while the Orioles got the win. So I mentioned it. I checked that box. Congratulations. Moving on. Orioles are Calvin's but we got to go to another game soon. That was fun. I had a good time. It's perfect weather. HBCU Unite. Good time. Final thing before we get out of here. Pro wrestling. Just a quick touch on it. WrestleMania is over. They got Backlash coming up next week. 3 matches have been next weekend. 3 matches have been signed. Roman Reigns defending the title versus Jacob Fatu. You have Asuka and Io Sky, and then the third matchup is Lord, I'm escaping me right now. What is the third matchup? Oh, Seth Rollins,
Seth
Rollins, and Bron Breakker. Yeah. So far have been signed. So those are 3 big time matches for Backlash pay-per-view. Typically, Backlash is kind of a rematch city from WrestleMania, but none of these are rematches. These are all even matchups that have had a little bit of history to them from the past, had a little ground to them. Asuka and Io were originally slated for WrestleMania. That got moved here, and actually it's good to have a good fresh matchup between these two. Not that they've never wrestled before, but with the feud and everything. But the saddest part of it all is the fact that Kairi Sane was let go last week. There was a doomsday of sorts where many talent, and this typically happens right after WrestleMania, but ever since TKO taken over, it's gotten drastically worse, it feels. They cut a number of talent, and TKO, the way they do things is they have a number. They want a certain amount of people on the roster, and if you're bringing people up from NXT, that means whoever's not working out on the main roster, or do they feel like either it's too expensive for what we're using them for, they cut them. And if you, first of all, and what a lot of people don't know is they do offer certain people lower contract to go down to NXT. And it is a big difference between NXT money and main roster money for many people. So during your early negotiation, they decide, hey, if this person's not going to be somebody who wants to take the deal, and some people got good negotiation power. Hey, if Randy Orton's coming due, I'm going to offer him money. Even if I don't have huge plans for him, he's a star. He's earned that right. But if you're a lower level guy who, you might be great, but you're not going to make or break our year, they're off lowball you. And if you don't take it, when it's time for the cuts, you out of there. And unfortunately, that doesn't leave room for fan favorites for some people. Like Io, to me, that's a bad cut, man. In the middle of a storyline, not taking into account what was going on. Damn it, Kairi Sane. Excuse me. Not taking into account what's going on with your storyline situation, just straight contract stuff. And that's where it gets messy. And I actually hate it. It was unfortunate. So, Justin, quick thoughts on Kairi getting cut.
They brought back Truth. So if anybody from this 24 or 25 people that's going to get brought back is going to be her. Sir. If anybody, I'm not saying she.
They're the only one the crowd cheering about. And
they turned down the value too on that We Want Kyrie chant. So I'm like, all right, if they keep it up, then if not, then she just be part of the casualty. I believe they talked to Io and say, look at Io, we can't have too many Asian persuasions on this roster. You want your husband over here. You're going to have to let one go. All right, well, go and let Kyrie go. All right, no, say less. So out with Kyrie, and here comes her husband, Evil, just made his appearance on NXT this past Tuesday.
Calvin, your thoughts?
So what you're saying is a chance. So what you're saying?
She might show up at the pay-per-view, but I haven't heard any grumblings. Because I know Dave had reported that WWE tried to spin it that she wanted to move back to Japan.
Yeah.
But she put out a statement saying, I never quit on anything. She never denied the fact that when they was negotiating with her, she did say she wanted to go back, but she didn't expect to get cut. She expected her contract to run out. And then, but this is post-WrestleMania cuts. Now,
you never know what someone might look at because of the love that she's getting. She might, the love that she
might reinvigorate her.
They really do love me out here.
So she's more valuable than we thought. So
I know how this works, man. Yeah. And think about this: if the reception is the way it is, you think Tony Khan not over there like, she's sensational. I could pay her top dollar. She come to AEW. Her and Mercedes already had a classic match over there in New Japan. Mercedes' first match out of WWE. Like, they got chemistry. I could see her making sign her. I want her. It's obvious. But I think it's going to be interesting, man, because I didn't understand the Io the Kairi Sane cut, I did not understand. You bring Aleister Black back. Put him in the storyline. Have him beat Randy Orton. He just beat Randy Orton like a month ago, like 2 months ago.
He beat 3 people. He beat Sammy, I think. Yeah, he beat Sammy.
Not his ass out too. Yeah. Like, that makes no sense to me.
Nobody cares.
Only thing I can think of is I know they was cutting his wife. So I'm like, I figured they say we're a package deal. You cut her, you cutting me too. So all right, peace out. That's the only thing I can think of. Because remember, he was in AEW, his wife was in WWE. He left AEW to come back to WWE because him and his wife was apart. He wanted to be with her. So maybe they like get you out of there too. Man, it's bad, man. That's bad. That's bad. But other than that, the Wyatts, they can go.
Yeah, and they kind of fumbled that.
Yeah, I think they had a run.
He was they had a run. He was never as popular as Bray, and that's what they were kind of.
They got a little
banking on.
Run.
So, yeah.
Other than that, they wasn't doing nothing. I was shocked a little bit with Santos Escobar. I thought they could have used him more in AAA. My man, the black fella. Oh man,
the black fella.
You know what I'm talking about. He had got injured. Nah, he was in AAA a little bit here lately.
Apollo Crews.
They never used him to his full potential. He can go. Yeah, a lot of them can go. Like I said, only 2 I was really like scratching my head on was Aleister Black and Kairi Sane. Like, damn, those are good talents. Oh, and the Motor City Machine Guns, but they can go. Be honest with you. Yeah, it's what it is. Yeah. That's the wrestling business, baby. Mm-hmm. Any other thoughts before we get out of here? Yeah, but they called up some people, so we'll see.
And I'm definitely into the developmental part of everything. So Ethan Page, glad to see you on the main roster. JC Jane had one of the biggest heel pops in since Dominic Mysterio. Soul Rufus coming. Blake Monroe / Mariah May is coming up. So they gotta make room. And these are all flushed out characters too. Just what I'm saying. So if you ain't flushed out, if you can't necessarily make do where you at, then you got to get up out of here. But now I ain't got nothing else to say besides that. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is.
I've made a declaration that I'm going to start watching NXT.
Hey, this is probably one of the hot spots right now because there's so many fluctuating talents. It's a lot of different guys that's on NXT right now. They literally say it like it's an open house. So
NXT signed a new contract with ESPN. The CW.
The CW, yeah.
Well, no, CW signed a contract with ESPN so that all shows will be streamed on ESPN Unlimited. So I can watch it now. I don't watch CW like that to my streaming, so I can watch it on ESPN Unlimited. So I'll start watching because I couldn't watch CW before because I don't have cable. So interesting. Well, I don't have.
You can always watch it on We Talk Combat's Discord. We play live events and all those.
I don't watch anything live.
Wanted to throw it out there.
Can we agree that they don't know what to do with Obafemi right now?
Oh man, that's bad.
I think they're doing exactly what they want to do. Because what you don't want to do is put them in a 50-50 program. You don't want to make them look normal versus nobody. They're giving them the Goldberg. You're going to have them just destroy some guys. Keep them on TV every week.
So
keep them in front of everybody. Because that is the problem with week-to-week television. You feel like, everybody need a storyline. Everybody need...
The problem...
Go ahead.
No, I said the problem is you feel as though... No, the problem is because he's hot and you need him to be there every week, but you don't know how to build upon a storyline with him right now. So it's just, I don't want to say you're throwing, it's just the one, we'll see what sticks, but it's kind of like we want him there. He's a fan favorite right now, so let's just do this to get him out there.
So I agree with the Goldberg notion. He should just ran through the roster. Just let him run through the roster. Let him get the Intercontinental belt. Hold that until it's time. Now that would have brought you time because I truly believe that this new family thing that Roman's doing Jacob's going to be a part of it. I'm just throwing it out there. I think Jacob's going to be a part of it. So now you will have Oba against that faction of Roman, Jacob, and the Usos, and he like what man can do it? Only Oba can, that kind of thing. But it did remind me of WCW. WCW managed to make Goldberg, Hollywood Hulk Hogan, the Outsiders, the Giant, like Sting, like they all was eating. Like all of them was eating at certain points, and they was all on the same shows at the same time.
But you know how they did that though, right? You didn't just automatically say, here's the next big thing. Let's throw them in the world titles. No.
Yeah, you let them grow.
You let somebody have an individual path. Right. That is building. You don't necessarily cross path with the big stars right away. You build to those moments. So Oba can get a litany of guys just coming in, I can take you out. And then eventually, so it gets bigger and bigger and big. And then hold up. Now I want to see him against the big dogs. And then maybe one day, I don't know, Gunther, or I don't want to say Gunther, but somebody like bigger, Bronson Reed, for example, comes out like, okay, that's a little bit more serious.
Yeah.
And then
so Oba versus Division.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, like
you build to that. You don't just throw them right in with Roman off the bat, and then you don't have nowhere to go. That's what a lot of people's complaint was about him going against Brock. Because once you put him against Brock, everybody assuming, he dominating Brock too easy.
He's Brock now.
You gotta lose. You know what I mean? Like, Brock. Yeah. He's not just going to walk over Brock.
I can still see him losing. It's just I see no one
getting. Have to always be undefeated. You can get screwed.
Yeah. They're not healing with him. Like, where's the chair shots? Where's the I'm gonna expose the turnbuckle and stuff? Like, they're not doing none of that. So if you want to establish his aura, and yes, he is aura personified, but you gotta cheat to win. And no one's cheating. They're just getting dominated.
It'll come, and that's the thing. You gotta have the right guys to do it. And if you
so you saying Grayson Waller is the right guy?
No, he just destroys that guy.
Right.
But if you make sure you build that pace and time it right for your big shows, you can't be worried about that in May. You know what I mean? When SummerSlam coming up, now you build to a big program where like, who could actually give Gunther a run? Oba a run for his money. Then you start pairing them. Because remember, Goldberg started off just with no-name jobbers.
Yeah.
Then he started going up against the television title guys.
All of a sudden, it was 100-0.
Then when he finally went up against the Giant and he picked his big ass up and jackhammered him,
it was a wrap.
It was the best thing on TV. But it had built where you like, yo, can you imagine when he finally get Hogan? Like that's how they need to do it. Don't rush it, because that's how you ruin guys, man. Because I even think it's a little early for Jacob Funk too. Yo, he just got blocked. That was ridiculous. Lakers.
Not if you want him in the bloodline.
I was saying, got to be something more to it.
Yeah,
got to be something more to it. All right, guys, that's it for tonight. It's been a great talk. Going into the month of May next week, I know next Wednesday I'll be available. So we'll be here next Wednesday night. Hopefully you all will be as well. It's Taurus season, so I'll be celebrating the King's birthday next week. Shout out to you, babe. I know you're watching. So we're going to enjoy that. But got some big things planned. But also, this is our year 40. Justin birthday coming up. Calvin, what y'all got in the pipe, man? What's going on? We gotta tell
you too. You didn't say yourself in that scenario.
You never heard somebody say what you got in the pipe? Like
pipe down the pipe.
I thought you said
down
pipe.
the pipe.
What?
No, that's the same. But we should do a get off the damn fence 40th birthday bash. Like do some type of extravaganza right here for the listeners. And go down memory lane. And this is other show I've been talking about. I want to do with you all, where we come and talk about our top fives. We're going to do top five, and we're going to go back to 1986. You know what I mean? What was the top five of this of 1986? What was the top five of that of 1986? And I want y'all to put y'all list together. And then we're going to spin it forward. We're going to do some fun stuff. So it's going to be fun. We got some creative ideas in mind, and we're going to take y'all on the ride with us. But we appreciate y'all tuning in tonight. Continue to watch these NBA playoffs tomorrow night. Some good games. We'll see if the Lakers are able to hold on tonight. I know Calvin over there sweating and looking real nervous right now.
We good. Austin Reeves back. Let me. Will the?
Do you think he's throwing off the rhythm a little bit?
No, he just trying to get his rhythm back. No.
Yeah,
no. This is prime LeBron right now. He gonna fall in line.
Yeah, he shot that 3 from half court a little earlier.
He had a heat check. He had a heat check. He made one, but then the next one was kind of like, all right.
Yeah.
I mean, played in a month.
Slow down. All right, folks. We appreciate y'all. For Calvin, Justin, I'm Larry. We'll see you next week for another edition. Get off the damn fence. Have a good night, everybody.